Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to the Wednesday, October 11 Days of Our Lives Spoilers Recap, E.J. Dinmura brought Susan Banks to the Salem PT with the expectation that she would provide a statement that would result in the imprisonment of Ava Vitali. Susan insisted that everything was forgiven because Ava and Harris Michaels had saved her in London. E.J. was furious because he continued to hold Ava responsible for his mother's disappearance, while Susan maintained her position. Rafe Hernandez emphasized that Ava wasn't yet free of responsibility, though. Ava was required by a court order to be at Bayview before she escaped, even though she wouldn't face charges for using fraudulent passports, dodging the police, or escaping. As a result, Ava's future lay in the hands of her medical professionals, but Marlena Evans promised to discuss Ava's advancement with them and see what she could do. Harris was questioned by Marlena privately about his feelings for Ava, but at first he pretended to be acting as he would for anyone in that situation. Marlena, however, believed Harris went above and beyond, leading her to wonder if he was hiding his emotions for Ava. In the end, Harris acknowledged that he had become fond of Ava and cared about her, particularly given the way the relationship had developed in London. Later, Marlena received positive news from Ava's doctors, who had approved of her release and agreed that she had been rehabilitated. Harris likewise believed he was in charge and prepared to return to the outside world, but he offered the suggestion that he continue seeing Marlena on an outpatient basis. That sounded sensible to Marlena, but she inquired as to whether the choice had anything to do with Ava's release. Harris refuted it and called Kate Roberts Brady to inquire about renting Eric Brady's former room above the bar from Roman Brady, Josh Taylor. Kate was adamant that Roman would be delighted to rent it, and she couldn't wait to show Harris around his new house. Ava was relieved that Harris was staying put because he had kept her informed about his choice to do so and to continue living above the pub. On Wednesday's Days program, Tate told Nicole Walker that the girl he adored was called Holly in the town square. Tate acknowledged he didn't know Holly Jonah's last name when Nicole questioned if it was her. Tate described the girl he met as hot when Nicole requested him to do so. Tate was unsure as to why Nicole had a photo of Holly until Nicole pulled it out of her pocket to display it to him. Tate apologized for the sexy comment after Nicole revealed Holly was her child and made a suggestion that Nicole might be able to speak well of him. Moments afterwards, Tate changed his mind because Holly had already fallen in love with another man. Nicole questioned Tate about it because she didn't know the man's name, but he didn't have any answers. After calling Tate to the townhouse, Brady Black learned that Tate had met Holly and was attracted to her. Brady pretended that Tate should be concentrating on other things since he will be starting work at the bar and enrolling in Salem High. On Wednesday's DOOLA program, Marlena was overjoyed to see Tate when she returned home. Nicole was shocked to see Susan alive when EJ took her back to the town center. When Susan noticed Nicole was expecting, she believed Rafe was the father because, as far as Susan was aware, they were married. EJ acknowledged Susan had missed a lot, but he argued the child belonged to him and that he and Nicole were already engaged. Given that she wasn't picking up on any vibes connecting her to the baby, Susan questioned Nicole about her certainty that it belonged to EJ. Susan questioned whether Nicole had been whoring around on her son when Nicole and EJ revealed there had been a paternity test. Susan informed Nicole and EJ that she was happy about the new grandchild after learning about the controversy surrounding the poisoned biscuits and deciding to move on. In the Days episode airing on Wednesday, Channel Dupree appeared irritated that Johnny Demura had invited Holly to their movie night. Johnny and Channel shared a seat, so Channel didn't appear to be happy about it either. Holly said that she thought the 1990s version of Clueless would be in black and white or something when they were viewing it. When Channel and Johnny made a joke about feeling old, Holly became agitated and continued to try to make the conversation about flirting with Johnny. Channel's hot popcorn caused Johnny to have a coughing fit. so Holly left the room to grab them all some beverages. In a private conversation with Channel, Johnny mentioned that Holly was rather chill compared to the majority of the other DiMera house residents. That prompted Johnny to ask Channel if she would think about relocating with him and exploring the DiMera dungeon, but she advised them not to jump the gun. Later, Johnny suggested that they practice moving things upstairs to his bedroom, but Holly returned and made things worse by deliberately dropping the drinks on Channel. Holly believed Chanel would have to travel back home to change, but her strategy was foiled when Johnny brought her some clothes from the second floor. Johnny spoke with Holly about telling Channel that she was cool while Channel was getting dressed. Holly sought to convey her feelings to Johnny and requested if she could tell him a secret before Susan arrived. On Wednesday's day's program, Johnny was overjoyed to find his grandmother alive and well, and he gave Susan a bear hug. Tate's parentage was revealed to Holly when Nicole approached her to talk about her experience with him. Holly reprimanded Nicole for embarrassing herself in public and took her in the foyer away from Johnny's earshot after Nicole also inquired about the guy Holly was in love with. To Nicole's apparent satisfaction, Holly then claimed that she had made up the tale in order to let Tate go gracefully. Holly responded to Tate's text asking if they could hang out tomorrow by calling him a big mouth and refusing to speak to him further. Holly said that Channel would never believe it and got ready to inform her about Susan's survival when she asked what was going on in the living room when she arrived downstairs. Don't miss any of the excitement on Days of Our Lives because there are still some surprises in Salem, according to spoilers. Or perhaps he is reluctant to commit to her for the rest of his life because of concern that she might experience the same fate as her cousin Abigail DiMera. There is plenty to think about, but Chad's life isn't as perilous as that of Stephanie's father. It does appear like misfortune follows the DiMeras like flies follow horses. Chad rarely talks to the rest of his siblings, keeps his distance, and doesn't hang around with them. When Tony and Anna DiMera visit, he will get together with them, but he mainly stays apart from the others. She assumed he had made peace with taking the next step because they get along so well and Chad's kids like her and Stephanie. Days of Our Lives news and teasers hint at Stephanie Johnson keeps her disappointment in Chad DiMera's lack of willingness to get married to herself. What is so different from living together that someone is terrified of committing to something for the rest of their lives? Stephanie wonders if Chad is worried he'll jinx something if they get married. In addition, stewing in her own juices is not helping her at all, yet it would be difficult to approach him directly. The children see her as their mother, and Chad doesn't appear to be concealing anything or acting as though something is hurting him and he needs to go. She would never attempt to take Abigail's place in any of their lives, but she is at a loss for what else may make Chad hesitate, save the fact that he hasn't fully recovered from his loss. But how can she ask Chad a question like that? She mulls over whether to consult Marlena Evans. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.